Communities across the country bracing for a second night of protests after the acquittal of Kyle Rittenhouse. From New York City to Chicago to Portland, where police declared a riot after some in the crowd damaged buildings and threw things at police officers. The demonstrations happening after a jury found Rittenhouse not guilty of all charges connected to a shooting in Kenosha back in 2020. There are so many facts that we're missing. Case in point, many Democratic politicians questioned whether, Rittenhouse was there in Kenosha the night of the shooting. It turned out he was already in Kenosha. He had family there, including his father. The gun was also in Kenosha. It also turns out the gun was not illegal, which is why the minor carrying a weapon charge was dropped.
He was working in Kenosha.
All of this is what has enraged America. But it's not just members of Congress, it's the President of the United States, because when this happened during his election, during his campaigning, the President called him a white supremacist. He could actually be, found guilty for defamation. I mean, it's an actionable comment that he made.
Yeah, no, and I think that a big reason you're starting to see the media sort of backtrack on a lot of this stuff, they're trying to clean up a lot of the things that they said, because things just got real here. Because you've got a guy who is suddenly, not only is he not a white supremacist, and there's never been any evidence for that in the first place, but he's also been found not guilty.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and a radical right-wing judge uses his authority behind the bench to put his thumb, or rather his entire body, on the scales of justice, and allowed a vigilante who went on a killing spree to be found not guilty. The judge was both judge and defense counsel in one. The way he continuously interrupted and scolded the prosecutor while defending Rittenhouse and the defense team was nauseating to watch. The same judge refused to allow the victims to be called victims. When someone is murdered in cold blood, they are victims despite what this radical judge says. The radical right is now going to use this verdict as an excuse to walk around wherever they please with assault rifles and shoot and kill whomever they choose. This verdict has given vigilantes across the country free rein to act with impunity. The country has not been this divided since the Civil War. On the one side of the country, we have people with common sense, morality, integrity, common decency, and on the other hand, we have the right. Folks, Fox propaganda is full of crap, by the way. Even in Kenosha, all of the protests were peaceful. No riots broke out anywhere, but they're lying. Shocking, right? This is getting old. They fabricate a story and just keep repeating it and bring on experts to comment on the story that they just made up. The right has kicked our ass when it comes to appointing or electing judges all the way up to the Supreme Court. They invest billions of dollars into making sure that they have their people in place and their investments paid off big time in the Rittenhouse trial. This judge has run unopposed for his job for the past 7 elections. This is the case all over the country, folks. And I'll be honest with you, I'm guilty of this as well. I don't always know who the judges are on the ballot, but for me, that changes from now on. I am going to do my research, and I will never vote for a judge who identifies with the alt-right ever again. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.